Hey, what's up, guys? I want to do some compare and contrast between Resident Evil, the movies and the games. Now, I've been a huge fan of the games ever since 1996, when the first one came out. In the mansion on PlayStation. I'm sure you guys all know about that if you're big fans of Resident Evil 2. You know, and then on the N64 I got Resident Evil 2, Leon and Claire. That was my favorite one. And then of course 3 with Nemesis, and you know, down the road, all this stuff. 4 through 7 are like, I don't hate them, but they're not the original 3. So the original 3 will always hold like a special place in my heart. That being said, though, 2002, Paul W.S. Anderson, who directed Mortal Kombat, you know, I think Fifth Element, like a whole bunch of other movies like that, decided, oh, you know, let's make a Resident Evil script. So I'm not really too sure if he played the games, or if he just knew somebody who played the games, or if he Googled it or something, but if you guys have seen the Resident Evil films, you know that they're not really the same thing. I mean, there's certain similarities and stuff between characters, but other than that, it's just like, alright, let's put my wife as the main character, even though she's not in the game, and then just surround her by, like, kind of Resident Evil characters and scenarios. That's what it felt like to me. I mean, I still like them all, because it's the only movie adaptations, but they can do better. So anyway, here we go. So Milla Jovovich's character in the movie is Alice, which she was a security operative at the Hive, which is the mansion, so they did get that correct in the original film. And her husband, or whatever, is Spence. So I guess that's supposed to be Oswald Spencer, or maybe just a callback to him, and it's just like a shout out to like, hey, it's the same name. I don't know. So then the security team breaks into the house and takes Alice and Spencer and this fake cop named Matt underground to the Hive to investigate, you know, what the hell's going on, because apparently somebody had to leak the T-virus. Spencer! Sorry, did I spoiler alert for you? It's been like 15 years or something. You had to have seen it. Anyway, so they go underground, you know, Michelle Rodriguez is there, you know, because why not? And all the other ones are just like random no-name people who no one gives a shit about. It's pretty cool, you know, they fight zombies, blah blah blah, Resident Evil. So it has a lot of similarities to the game as far as like them like fighting zombies and stuff. I don't really remember there being a SWAT team in the Resident Evil games, unless you don't count Operation Raccoon City. But whatever. So then Alice and Spencer seem to have some sort of memory loss, because there was a neurological gas that got pumped in the house at the beginning of the movie that made them lose memories. And cut to the end of the movie, we find out that Spencer was the bad guy all along, and he was just trying to steal the T-virus to sell on the black market, you know, typical movie plot. So he's trying to escape with it, and then the real antagonist of the movie comes out, the liquor, or the super liquor, or whatever the hell they ended up calling it. It's supposed to be a liquor. And he kills Spence, and then they fight him, or it, on the train. End up whooping its ass. The train fight was cool because it kind of reminded me of Resident Evil 2 when they fought, you know, G5 Birkin on the train, when he's like the blob with spines in it. That was kind of reminiscent of that, I suppose. I don't know if it was supposed to be like a what do you call it? Like a homage to that or something? I don't know. But so then that happened, and then she ended up killing Michelle Rodriguez because she's infected the whole movie and they couldn't save her. But she's in like every other movie, so don't worry, she'll come back. And then we find out that Matt, who was the fake cop, ends up, which I thought originally Matt was supposed to be Leon, but I guess not. I don't know what they're going for with the whole cop angle there. But so Matt gets scratched by the liquor and ends up mutating. And so when they get to the mansion, after they get back up above ground, Umbrella captures them both, and then I guess Matt starts turning into Nemesis because plot. And so like Birkin, who is the doctor that captured them, puts them both in like stasis and like I guess operates on them or something, and he injects Alice with the T-virus. And so that's the first movie. In the first game, the STARS team gets dispatched to the mansion because of a bunch of weird shit going on in the area. It ends up being you can either be Chris or Jill, and what's funny is like they have the exact same storyline, so it doesn't really make sense. They're doing the exact same things in the game, but then later on, like their stories are supposed to be like kind of like connected, but they're doing the same. I don't know. So turn this off. This is irritating me. It doesn't turn off. I need new wiper blades. Okay, so Chris and Jill discover that Wesker, who was the head of their STARS unit, was actually working for Umbrella, but then he actually turned his back on Umbrella to steal the T-virus and sell it, blah, 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 like this Spence plot from the first movie. So I guess the movie took elements of the game. I mean, that's kind of obvious, but it should have just been like the same concept. I don't know. And then, when they confronted Wesker at the end of the game, they ended up having to fight the Tyrant, which was, I guess the prototype of, like, the BOWs. He was, like, the first of its kind. So the Tyrant gets loose and stabs the hell out of Wesker, kills him. He's not really dead, though. I think it just gave him, like, superpowers or super speed or something. I don't know. I think he became the Flash. I don't know. So then that happened, and then the mansion rigged to explode because every building you ever enter in a Resident Evil game, at the end of that game, will explode. It's just a thing that happens. So they got the fuck out of there and, escaped to safety. And that was pretty much the end of the game. So, comparison-wise, not really too similar, At least I don't think so. In the second movie, Resident Evil Apocalypse, that was the closest video game adaptation that they did. As far as the city and Nemesis and stuff like that, it was pretty much right out of the game. And they did have Jill, and she looked just like her video game counterpart, which was cool. Except they had some random dude named Peyton as like her partner, and that guy doesn't fucking exist. So I don't know why they couldn't just put Chris Redfield in there, or Brad, or anybody else. But yeah, I'm Peyton. I'm a fucking random guy. So that happened. And of course, Alice is the main fucking character again, even though, whatever. I'll make my wife the main character. Fuck how the real story goes. So, she finds Jill and all the other survivors, and pretty much leads them throughout the city, and they all pretty much die except for the two of them. And the whole time Nemesis is pursuing her, so that's pretty game accurate. Umbrella programmed Matt / Nemesis to, pursue Alice, and it all leads down to a fist fight. Oh, no, not a shootout, not like the end of the game with the rail cannon where she, like, blasts a hole in a blob. That's not a thing. But what she does do is fight him in fisticuffs. So, yeah. So that happened, and then she ends up not being able to do it because she sees his eyes and was like, oh, that's Matt's eyes. He's not a bad guy anymore. I don't fucking know. So then Nemesis, who's been programmed to kill her, all of a sudden just doesn't want to anymore. Like, he can just override it willingly. Why couldn't he fucking do that from the beginning of the movie? And then they just don't fight, and then he helps her escape, and then he gets killed by a helicopter blade. Oh, Paul, what the fuck? So yeah, that was the movie. Oh, okay, so then they escape the city because they're gonna nuke the city, like in the game. One more thing they got right. Except their helicopter crashes on the outskirts of the city, and then cut to Alice being, you know, worked on by the Birkin guy again, who's not even really Birkin. His name is Dr. Isaacs. Why the fuck did they name? I don't know. I guess what happened there was Dr. Birkin, or William Birkin, was supposed to be played by Jason Isaacs, who was Lucius Malfoy, you know, in Harry Potter. And he backed out, or some bullshit happened. So, in honor of that, they ended up naming the character after the actor. Fuck, Paul. What are you doing, Paul? So, yeah. Anyway, that happened, and so Alice is in some tank being worked on by Isaacs, and then Jill and, like, all her crew roll up, you know, and rescue her out of there. And then he says, oh, Project Alice activated. So I don't know if she's supposed to be like another nemesis or what the fuck. The end. No questions asked. The end. Fuck you. So that was that movie.